Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is going to be a very special video because I'm going to talk about what is wrong with the current interview preparation tool and what I did to solve this. So let me start first by talking what is currently wrong with the interview preparation tool. So today, what are all the tools that users or the candidates use to prepare for the interviews? So they go to LeetCode, which is quite a famous one. I have myself solved more than 800 questions on it. Other things are like Code Forces, Hacker Earth, Hacker Ran. So there are multiple tools. So whichever tool or platform you go to, there is just one way to solve the question. So the question, you just click on the question, they display you a question and they give you an editor. So you read the question and you solve the question. In hindsight, it seems very simple, right? But that's not how an interview works. In interview, when you see a question, you're supposed to ask clarifying questions. You're supposed to come up with a brute force solution first, and then you are supposed to come up with optimizations, discuss with the interviewer. Only then get to coding. And after writing the code, you will go ahead and try to write some test cases. So this is how an interview works. So for anyone who is new, if you just give them a question and expect them to come up with the code, all they will do is they will first read the question and they'll think, oh, okay, now I'll have to directly write the code. So that's what they will think. So this is not the right approach for practicing for interviews. So that's what I felt, and I came up with a solution to sort of build a new tool which is agentic in nature to prepare for coding interviews. So this tool is called LeetCoach.dev. It's an agentic platform to prepare for your coding interviews. So with the help of AI agents, you go through various agents. So basically you start with a clarifying agent where you are supposed to clarify your requirements for the question, and then you move on to brute force agent where you come up with the brute force solution. Then you move on to optimization agent where you come up with an optimized code, and then you actually write the code on the editor and you will get a final report of how good your code is. And in all of these stages you get the AI feedback of what you are doing right and what you are doing wrong. So I don't want to talk more about it. I'll directly give you a demo and you can decide whether it's a good tool to prepare or not. So yeah, so let's get into the demo. So this is the tool. It's called LeetCoach.dev and it's live. You guys can start using it right away. So first thing first, you need to sign up if you are a new user. So it will ask you for your name, email ID, and you need to create a password. It's completely free, so you don't have to worry, you can directly sign up. And I have already signed up, so let me log in. So let me log in first. Yeah, so as soon as you log in, you can see a list of 75 questions. So these are the same questions that are there in the blind 75 list. I have kept it like this to keep it simple because most of the beginners start with blind 75. So you have the same blind 75 questions here. So let's do a question. Let's start with two sum. So you start with question. The question is displayed first. Given an array of integers, nums, and an integer target, return indices of two numbers such that they add up to a target. This is a classic two-sum problem. We are given one input and output. Now let's start the interview. You have a timer that goes on, so you're supposed to complete this interview in 45 minutes, which is like how a typical interview is. Now the first agent is for clarifying questions. So you are basically supposed to ask clarifying questions. So let's ask, what are the type of input and output, and can the input be empty? So let's say these are my clarifying questions. I'll ask for it, and then let's see the interviewer feedback. The input for this problem is an array of integers, nums, and target, and the output should also be an array of two indices. And what other question, can the input be empty? Make sure, consider how you will handle the edge cases. and then remember to account for the constraint. So they have given you the constraint. So length of the input can be from 2 to 10 power 4. So you can make sure that the array is not empty. And they've also given you like some other inputs like handle edge cases and all that. So after clarifying input requirements, let's move on to the next agent, brute force. Here you are supposed to describe your brute force solution. So I will tell something like I will use nested loop to find the target, and then let's say the time complexity for this is O of n square because I'm using nested loop. Space is O of 1 because we are not using any extra space. You can get the feedback on this as well. Yes, your approach is a valid brute force solution for this problem as it tries all possible combination, and it also tells that your time complexity and space complexity is accurate for this problem. Now let's move on to the optimization state. I'll be like I will use an hash map to optimize this problem. I will store the complement of the number in hash map and see if nums of I is present. If present, return the array of index. And as you can see, I'm not writing it in very detailed way because the AI can understand what you are sort of trying to tell, so it will make sense of it. O of n is the time complexity and space complexity is O of n. Get interview feedback. Yeah, your optimized solution is better than brute force. The hash map allows you to achieve time complexity of O of n compared to O of n square, and your optimization correctly handles the problem constraint and examples. So you got some feedback. Next step is to write the code. I'll write it in Python. So let's go to Python. And currently I have not given the functionality to compile or run your code. That will be coming up in next iteration. Currently the AI will be judging your code, which is also very accurate. So let's write a solution for 2sum. So n is equal to len of nums, and I don't want to write the correct code here because I want to see you how the AI will sort of grade the code when you're going wrong, because most of us when we are starting we are not going to write the right code. So I will make mistake purposefully now. So for first I need a hash map. Let's have it, and then for I in range n, I'll just be like if num of I, and then just return hash map of num of I. All this is wrong code. I just want to show you like how the AI will sort of judge this code. Hash map of nums of I is equal to I. So I wrote some wrong code here. Okay, now submit for final review. Confirm it. Okay, so you got your final interview report. So clarification is 9 out of 10 because you asked about input output types and what happens if the input is empty, all that. So clarification you are doing right. Brute force, seems like you misunderstood the problem requirement. Maybe I wrote something wrong while describing the brute force. Let me check that. Coding 5 on 10. Your code has several issues and does not provide the correct solution for this problem. So as you can see, line 6, incorrect condition check. If num of I will return true for non-zero values, line 7 premature return statement. This will not handle case where complement is not found. So it's showing you all the issues with your code, and they're telling you like key pointers: understand the problem requirement clearly, use the hash map to store complement for efficient lookup, and it also displays you an actual solution so that you can next time look at this actual solution and improve it. And if you want to try another question, you can go ahead and try another question, and you can always keep moving through the this thing. And I think the brute force, it was grading wrong because I have just written I will use nested loop to find the target. Probably I have to be like bit more like elaborate on what I would want to do. But regardless, it gives you a good insights of where you are going wrong and exactly where in the code you are going wrong and what you can improve and what is the actual solution, so that you can easily improve next time you practice the code. And the main advantage is you're doing it in the 4-step manner. You're clarifying the requirement, coming up with brute force, coming up with an optimized solution, writing the code, and then you will get like a detailed report. So yeah, if you like this tool, go ahead and check this out, LeetCoach.dev. And this is completely free. I'm not trying to make any money out of it, at least for now. It's completely free. You can go ahead and try to use it as much as possible. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys will sort of go ahead, use this, and sort of explore this platform.